in that background, people never had a good idea about a lady doing an engineering field. So I get a lot of troubles by selecting the engineering field. Even that I got through it. And after joining to Huawei Technologies, there I faced my second challenge because I was assigned to one critical project at that time. That was Airtel network deployment. And there were around 70 engineers worked there. I am the only female engineer. So sometimes night works and some continuously day and night work make me tired, and also sometimes a lot of disappointment with the other people attitude. But anyway, I was come across that I always believe myself I can do that. Even in the management, I got bit of trouble that with the ladies have the capability of doing that. That's the question was there in every mind. I was able to prove that even ladies can do that work, the project work and implementation, maintenance kind of things. After that, I joined Airtel. Actually, it's a good time for me, and now the industry is far better than the era where I joined the industry. We can see many female working in telco, but still it's compared to men it's very less, but far better than anyhow, I think still we have to do more to encourage female in this industry, because there's a myth that telco is not suitable for ladies, and there's a doubt about the ladies' capabilities. I'd like to request all my brothers here that please encourage the ladies around you to achieve their goals.
Hi, I'm Shanima Bandara, representing BS Information Systems. So my background is I'm a graduate from University of Morocco, specializing in electronics and telecommunications. So because of the interest on this networking field, before I graduated, I followed some of the Cisco certifications and certified with that. So then I went for the interviews with all the boys. I think for the networking jobs and networking interviews. So because of my interest and because of the ability to work kind of thing, so I got recruited in BS Information Systems. Their first question from board was whether you can work overnight. Can you go to the customer sites? Can you do some configurations there? Maybe you have to work on server rooms. Is it okay for you? Kind of lot of questions that they need to check on me, whether they can recruit me or not. For this, the post called network engineer. So I answered them very confidently that yes, I'm interested in doing that. And as I said, I worked there for the 2 years as network engineer, going to the customer sites and do some configurations and maybe working overnights in server rooms. So that was my first challenge. And then I found that rather than doing some configurations, there are some fields or the paths where we can go without any hard work, but where you need a lot of technology. So then I gradually moved into the designing side, that is in industry we call it pre-sales side. So then there we have a lot of customer engagements, technology explorations and presentations. So then that is, I found that one step ahead the configuration, where you need a lot of technology as well as the financial influences on designing solutions. So then after that I moved into the designing side as a privilege, like I got an opportunity to main security points that we call the Pentagon of Sri Lanka, that is the Ministry of Defense Headquarters Network. So I believe that it is one of the achievement in my career, and also I got opportunity to do some solutions for the Sri Lanka as one of the leading banks and also some of the government institutes as well. So then my message is that the field of networking is not only the configuration. So most of the people think that we need to go to the sites and do the configuration, but there are many parts that we can go and perform well rather than men, I would say. So then, like many female can come to the networking field and do more performances. I think with the like now the today world is now moving forward for the software side as well. So with this evolution, I think many female engineers have opportunities in this networking field.
Thank you for the introduction. So my first question is Ms. Nani Fernando. So you joined the IT profession almost as its inception in Sri Lanka and progressed. Do you think that women participation is necessary and what are the barriers to their progress?
Okay. Now, that's a question I like to talk about. Do we really need women to work? Do we really need it? Well, number one, in Sri Lanka, 51% of the population are female. Can we leave them all out of the labor force? We forget that we are not starving today because of the women. The Middle East worker, the tea plucker, the garment factory worker, they are all women. They are there in the labor force. But in the labor force, female participation is only around 33% or even less at the moment. It was about 36% a year or so ago. It has gone down. So what does that mean to our economy? When we leave out a valuable resource and don't make use of them. What are the reasons for this? Can we manage without women? At a little higher level, we have teachers, bank clerks, government office workers, quite a lot of women. But do they go to the top? Rarely. What are the reasons for this? Partly because of attitude and prototype, we identify a man as a person who can do the whole leadership. A woman is soft, woman cannot do that. And as these young girls were pointing out, they can't work in the night, so many barriers. But do you realize that a woman does so much more hard work sometimes than a lot of men? Who breaks rest right through the night for several days when a child is sick and get up and go to work the next day? Very difficult for a man to do that. Women have certain inherent staying power. So the country, the economy needs it. If we are wise, we have to create the environment so that women can contribute to the growth of this country. If we do that and we leave them out, we will continue the downward trend that we have been going through for the last 50, 60 years. Because I had a little plaque in my office which said, a woman has to do twice as much as a man. Fortunately, that's not difficult. We can do maybe 3 times more. But the issue is this. A lot of women have to work to make ends meet in the family. But they don't want to take on more responsibility and go to the top. So this is something that Sagarita wanted me to think of. Well, I ended up as the Director of Information Technology in the Central Bank. How did you get there? What made you stay there? What I find is there were a lot of women who came up, but they don't want to take on more responsibility. It's just too much. Because the men have been trained to go to office and work, not take on any other responsibility. The woman has to keep the home fires burning. The woman has to see that the children are fed and educated. I mean, maybe not just financially, but financially also. They have to support. So the attitude change is necessary, and we have to see that our men understand it. Unless they take responsibility, we won't get our women aspiring to go to the top. Only a few will. Large majority just don't want to do it because it's just too much. So, I think that unless we get them going, we will find that the society keeps going down and down. Because how can you leave 51% of the labor force out of the equation? What does it do to our economy? Do we always keep them as sleepwalkers with a low wage? Is that all they can do? There are women who have done something else, but so few. So few. So I think the time has come to train the girl child to also take her place, to realize that we just give dolls and cooking materials to the girl and give the toys that can, creative toys to the boy. Even the mother, if they had ability only to educate one child out of two, they will educate the son and not the daughter. So the point is, we have a problem, and unless we realize, and each man and woman take steps to understand this issue, our economy cannot develop. That's for sure. You cannot leave out a large percentage of the workforce out of the labor, and it's more difficult for women to get jobs than men, and especially in this field. I was talking about it generally, especially in the technology area. We have had fine women heading HP and things like that, but so few. We need the number. And what is the future? Where are the jobs? Where is it coming? It's in technology. So unless we act now and see our is tuned to take her place in society, the country will not benefit by doing that path. We just need to do that. And unless every man and every woman realize this, we cannot do it. And I think we in Sri Lanka know that people must understand. No leader will. People must understand.
Thank you. And this question is for Chani. As a female CISO, what challenges do you see especially for females to excel in their cybersecurity field?
Right. So I spoke about the negative thing that happened in my life and what encouraged me to do this. One of the things that I can tell is that was just one incident, one person, but that doesn't mean the entire community is like that. I had so much support from my employers, my colleagues, and my mentors to help me go past these difficult times, or whenever I have a challenge or a difficult situation, I had support. So that's the community we want to build. And everyone goes through this. It's not just in cybersecurity or technology or STEM. Everywhere we have this challenge where women are not treated equally. So I want to ask a question. We all have a mother and a sister or a grandmother, wife, girlfriend. They're also human. So it's about treating another human being equally. And if you're looking at a woman like a sex object or a baby machine or I don't know, someone who's not capable of doing something, it's not the problem of the woman, it's what I have to say. Because it's sometimes what I've seen is some men are threatened. When I come there, I can see that they don't like me because they're threatened. That's because their confidence is not there. They think, oh, this woman's going to come and steal my job. So they would initially have their guard up, would do anything to sabotage whatever you do. And same with women. It's the human nature. So it's all about, like she said, it's treating each other like human beings and supporting them. Otherwise, we are never going to get anywhere trying to be, oh, I'm a woman, give me this, and I'm a man, you can't have this. So it doesn't work like that. So what I have to say inside the security field, I've had a lot of challenges, but I've had a lot of support. More than the challenges is the support I've had. There are so many people who are true gentlemen who will support you to go up the ladder, help you with things, and so it's just one of those things. So, and as a woman, what you can do is build your confidence, know what you're talking about, and know what your subject is. So if you go get these things, going up and doing what you want to do is matter of time. You create your own world pretty much, and you face the challenges, and that's what I would give I would tell the audience, where I think that's how I found my way, where you build up your confidence. So if you're confident in what you do, no one's going to stop you. You make your own path.
I think I look at it just like there are quite a few challenges. IT industry itself is a challenge for the female techies to work in. That's one of the challenges. Secondly is our own traits and attitudes that we have towards the tech field. And thirdly is the social cultural background that we operate in has also become a challenge. So if I elaborate a bit more on these three challenges, first one, whether we like it or not, we have to accept the fact that IT is male territory. I mean, getting into the IT field and or technology field and working there itself, when you start the job, sometimes you feel laid back because there's a lot of males in the company and you're only a few of you. And also when you don't see the same creatures as your peers or supervisors, that again become a frustrating point for the entry-level young techies, I would say. And the second one, as I elaborated earlier, I was lucky to have a female superior as my role model, but most of the young engineers, the females, they don't get female role models because there are quite a few in number within the company, and out of that also the numbers who would really go up in the ladder, who would take a challenge and would get promoted are quite less. That's also another frustrating factor for the female techies when they enter the industry and start their careers. And the other one which really adds up to the equation and amplifies the issue is that our own personal beliefs and traits. Sometimes as girls, when you really come into the industry, you feel that you're not good enough to do the job. You think you're not good enough to do the job, and then you really fall apart. So rather than becoming a challenge to your male counterparts, what you would do is you'll always take the back foot. So that is really, obstructing us to go up in the ladder, go far in the career, because you feel again laid back. But out of all of these challenges, the biggest challenge that I see is the social cultural bottleneck that we have, where I think every woman might be fighting in some way or the other. Because like Naini also told, you have to balance your home front as well as to manage the work. So you have to care for your children, you have to look after the family, and you have to cook the food and everything. At the same time, you have to be in pace with the change of technologies which is happening in your career. So balancing the two is quite a challenge. So that is, I think, is the biggest challenge that we face as females, especially in the tech field.
Thank you, Shari. And Subhashini, as a part of a mobile network operator that operates internationally, how do you find that your organization address the gender balance in your operations, not only in Sri Lanka, but also internationally?
Talking about my workplace, it really encouraging the female tech positions by actually main thing is they are creating a friendly environment and equal opportunities for ladies also. Considering some policies, we have some group level policies, just like special maternity leave category, that is 22 weeks. It's additional to the that means it's more than what we have now. Group level policy and also it has encouragement for the talent acquisition. Internally, higher rewards for the female referrals. Those things apply globally to encourage more female, but still we can see that less females in the technical and IT field, IT departments, because that is actually sometimes even we tried, we can't find resources outside. There are lack of female involving in the industry and willing to go ahead. So I think in our culture and attitude also to be changed, not on the industry level. I think all the industry right now have this way forward in there. They are willing to have ladies, and I think we have opportunities in future. So what we have to do is we have to improve our attitudes.
Thank you, Subhashini. And Shanika, so one of the main objectives of LK North is to encourage women involvement in network operations. So, as a female network engineer who works in the hardcore networking, can you explain us what are the misconceptions people have on female network engineers? And how can we combat these misconceptions and communication more effectively?
As I said earlier, the major misconception that people are having is networking is only configuration here. People need to go to the customer sites and work overnight kind of thing. But it's, yes, it's one segment of networking, but now you have the technology not to go to the sites, but do the configuration here. Because evolutions of video conferencing systems, some applications like some applications from different vendors. So we have the capability of doing the configurations or conducting some consultancy sessions over the maybe over the internet or through some video conferencing this thing without going to the site. So then that one major misconception on late night and go to the sites can be mitigated with this particular thing. And also this, because of like the configuring routers and switches is one segment. We have other segments as well, like as I said earlier also, we have designing kind of things, and also we have consultancy services, which we need a lot of technical background as well as the presentations or the customer engagement. I think women are very good in this particular presentations and designing kind of thing because they have the natural ability to perform on various fields at a time. So rather than like the brain has been adapted like that because the men can go in deeper, but we call it the breadth of knowledge. So the women are very good in breadth of knowledge. So then I think designing or having a lot of technologies in mind is very good for the women to come to the networking fields. And also because of this software evolution we have today, SD-WAN, SD networking, like software-defined networking, software-defined access kind of thing. So then with this evolution, rather than the hardware, this thing, so the software itself is getting more powerful. So then now create for the to do the software development. That is not the conventional software development, but the networking related software development. So as an example, if I say that from Cisco itself, they have what do you call the iOS. So now they are developing with the iOS to make hardware and the performance are getting from this, but not the hardware, from the software itself. So then we have like there's no we don't need to go to the sites kind of thing, but we can do in-house development with this one. So then for that you need to have good understanding on networking technologies as well as some of the programming languages called Python or Ansible kind of. So I think today we can combat all these misconceptions because we have enough of those to enter this particular networking field and perform very well.
Thank you. So my next question is for Ms. Nani Fernando. As a pioneer of this industry in Sri Lanka, what do you think are some measures that have to be taken to facilitate the participation of more girls in the technical or the ICT jobs in Sri Lanka?
Okay. One thing is, I think that we have to encourage more girls to go into STEM fields. Science, technology, engineering, and those fields have to be, because we have a concept that engineering and so on are for boys. Because we teach children that way. But we have to understand that there is a contribution that women can make, and we need to harness that. So we have to do a lot of things. We have to make it possible. Women do have their household responsibilities, right? So the man has to share that responsibility and also make the workplace and the environment conducive for women to contribute to the economy. Now I have a friend in USA, somebody who studied with me. Two of us were the only two who did mathematics at A-level in that school, at Methodist College. She works from home. She is my age, over 70 years, and she still works, but she works from home. So these are facilities that are available in those places. So we have to make sure that we have those facilities. Some places have crashes. There you can bring your child and the child will be looked after. Those days we could get into a bus and go very safely. Today, women are not very happy going about in crowded buses because you know our environment here is not that good. Let's face it, there is a lady who told me that she has walked on the streets of many countries, but she never had her back pinched except in Sri Lanka. So we have a problem here. We have a problem here. So we have to deal with it. We have to make the environment conducive for women. Unless we do that, we have a problem. Because now we know that the world is using more and more technology. very soon the jobs are going to be in AI. So can all the boys manage it? We need the girls too to go there. So now's the time to take note of this and train the girls to go into these fields. Because without just giving a doll and a tea set to a girl, you give them also the creative toy. Because I saw a video which demonstrated how they dressed some little kids. They dressed the boys as girls and the girls as boys and told some volunteers to come and play with them. The volunteers came and gave dolls to the ones that they thought were girls, but they were actually boys. And those kids very nicely took to the dolls. Then they gave some cars and other stuff to assemble to the girls whom they thought were boys, and those kids responded positively. And when they were told, we have dressed them like this, they were surprised. So it's how we train them, not that it's inherent. We need the girls also to go into this field because this is where the world is moving. So we can't be satisfied with the tea pluckers and the garment workers. Very soon, those jobs also will become more technical. So unless we shift the female labor force onto that way, we are going to get left behind. Already we are left behind. So if we want to sort of catch up, I think now's the time to make environment for girls to go into more technology fields and also for them to have an environment conducive to help them perform and with safety and security so that the men don't have to ask, can you work in the night? If the environment was such that there is no problem for a woman to work in the night, that question doesn't have to be asked. They ask because our environment is not conducive to that. So it's our responsibility, not the responsibility of the women. It's a responsibility of the woman and the man to make that environment come true. So that's my message. A woman can manage the house and have a career. I have done both, given 100% to my job, 100% to my family. My two daughters are both will have their own career. Right? So that's what I say. So women have that capacity. So don't lose it. Our country cannot afford it.
Thank you. And Chani, from your international experience, do you see that Sri Lanka is doing well in terms of having more women in cybersecurity field?
The short answer is no. That's a global problem as well. Like I said, the statistics, 3 million jobs. We need 3 million people in the cybersecurity. And where the biggest gap is Asia Pacific, which is 2.5 million. So it's not just a Sri Lankan thing, it's a global problem. Everywhere is the same. I don't think we're doing enough. And also, I think cybersecurity being a new thing in Sri Lanka, and to talk about privacy here. That's where cybersecurity element also comes. The Sri Lankan constitution doesn't have right for privacy. So that means we don't have a right for our private data or personal data. So there's nothing governing at the top level to protect our data. So if someone misuses your personal data, there's no proper laws to fix that or punish the people who are not protecting those. So because of that, people naturally tend to not care about personal data or security, because if a company had a data breach, they just brush it under the carpet and forget about it, because no one's going to come after them and find them. And that's the culture we've got. So this is a problem. I think there are a lot of areas that globally and locally, because when you don't see the importance of security, you don't need a lot of people. So there aren't enough people in there, and naturally it goes to the IT team. okay, my security is controlled by my IT team. So the IT guys are doing the security and the IT both. So IT environment is player dominated. And so security teams, a lot of people believe, oh, we don't need security because IT does the security, but it doesn't work like that. If your IT team is also doing the security, who's checking their homework? They're pretty much doing their own, checking their own homework. So the importance of having two separate teams is still not there. So security is just another cost. People look at it as another cost. Plus, the diversity element is also, they look at it as either marketing opportunity or another cost. So the importance of having females or diverse teams, they don't understand that element. Why need one, customers better. Two, you create innovation. And there's three, when you work in different people from different backgrounds, you make better decisions. I could go on for a long, give more reasons. These things people don't understand that, especially around small businesses. You've seen a lot of big companies like IBM, KPMG, some of the clients I work with, they all promote diversity. Why? Because they understand there's an importance to having diverse teams, because then they can reach to global markets, they can make better decisions, there's innovation. So this knowledge they collect is not passed down to some of these countries. So people don't understand the importance of having more females in the industry. So to answer your question, I don't think that any of us are doing enough. I think we need to promote our children, anyone, to get into cybersecurity. That's why I tell my friends, my relations, if you have a daughter, train them. Train them to be a hacker. Train them to be a cybersecurity professional or a risk manager, because those are the jobs that could probably have some chance when AI and quantum computing comes in. Because we are going to lose the lawyers, the accountants. The culture is such that your grandmother, your auntie, everybody says, they go and become a doctor, go and become a lawyer, be an accountant. But these jobs are going to go, and it's not too long. But if you know how to be secure, how to handle technology, when AI and all these technologies comes in, you at least know how to be secure with it and how to use this technology securely. So it's a global problem, like I said. So we all have a part there, responsibility.
Thank you, Chani. And Sharia, it is a fact that in information technology, tech sector employs fewer women than the other private sector. So, what are some ways you can suggest to the industry making a difference?
Yes, Sarika. I think Ms. Naili also told before going into the companies and the IT industry as a whole, I think the problem is at the education level, because we should start from school. Like Ms. Naili also told, like the girls who are enrolling for STEM subjects is quite few in number. So I believe education has to be a bottom-up tool, and we need to harness the true potential from girls and also push them to study STEM subjects. So that's one of the main drawbacks, where you find few female techies in the industry. So as parents and as educators, we have to let our daughters move into the STEM field, and also show them the benefit and the importance of studying STEM subjects, and also encourage them and also give them the necessary tools and exposure to the technology, so that they study STEM. So if they build an interest to these subjects, obviously you have to go along with them and encourage them to study further and end up at higher university level as engineers or IT professionals, and so on, so for that matter. And also industries, I think now in the Sri Lankan education system itself has a problem, because are we really very skills and competencies which are required for the industry. So there, I think the industry itself can support the education sector at the school level, at the university level, to ensure that right set of skills and competencies are developed within young children to bring about the required skills and competencies that are required for the industry. From a company perspective, I wouldn't say the solution is to pinkify all the devices and have a very kind of a female type of an organization. What you need to do is, one thing, you need to hire more females. You have to be confident to hire more females to your company. And secondly, you have to give the equal opportunities in terms of training, in terms of giving promotions, and also in terms of our officer is a female. So I was telling her, why not you open up a daycare center in the company so that most of the young engineers who take long maternity leaves can come to work sooner and have their children enrolled at the daycare center with proper care and all that, so they have the peace of mind to work subsequent to their maternity leave. So that's one of the biggest problems we are facing. There's a lot of maybe it's the same for many other companies as well, because after you are married, when you have children, you take longer time and you take an OP leave also, because there's no way of keeping your children safe and coming back to work. So that's one of the biggest problems we are facing. So we have to find answers. We have to create a conducive environment for the females to work in these type of companies. So that's basically my advice.
Thank you. Since we are running out of time, Subhashini, do you remember specific experience where you wish that industry had done something differently? And if you were to do it over, how would you change?
Actually, not recently, but by the time I was joined the industry as an engineer, actually, I was also treated differently because of female, and also I have seen many of my colleagues, female engineers, treated differently. There are some incidents that some male colleges refuse to get some female engineers into their team by doubting their abilities of working. So at that time, if this kind of forums and women in ICT programs were there, and if we could have done something into this level, we could motivate these ladies. Most of them actually, they left the industry, they moved towards higher education, and otherwise some other jobs without having on the telco and IT industry. So if we could do this kind of encouragement at the earlier stage also, that we could have kept that lot of female engineers here and lot of higher positions here right now even. But still we have time and we can encourage our future generation. Now we actually, even in Sri Lanka and even in globally, we can see many events to encourage the female. Recently with Ethnic, we launched women, that APAC Women ICT mailing list. That is one great thing, that it will connect all the AP region women ICT women in the one emailing list, so they can share their experience and some opportunities. I think LKNOG also one great initiative to encourage female and also to educate that eliminate the myth with that industry that female cannot perform well in the telco and IT industry.
Thank you. And the last question is for Shanta. What has helped you to where you are today, and what advice would you have for others who want to set off in a similar direction?
This is applicable to any career, that is do what you like what you do. That is, you should have interest on what you are doing, and this is applicable for your career as well. If you have the interest only, you are tending to do further studies and learnings and seeking on new technologies and such. So since, as I said, like relation to the design side, I did the studies and did some exams on designing side, and studied on what this particular designing is. So then for that learning this thing, we should have interest on us for the field of networking. And the other thing is, when we are learning also, we do not focus on the on to touch it on the surface. We need to go to the roots of it and do deep analysis, and what is this about, why we are doing this, what is the technology behind, and how these particular protocols work, kind of thing. So we need to go deep into the technicals to do the analysis. And the other thing is, one of the major advice that I can give is, do not follow the trends, because most of the, I think, maybe applicable to me as well. When we are in the university, I think we used to follow some trends and do some maybe software side or kind of thing. But we need to identify our abilities and our interests, and we should focus on what we can perform. So then, for that path only we need to reach, and we should have a clear goal back of our mind. So we need to work to achieve that goal as well. And the other thing is to do some learnings and researches kind of thing. We should have plenty of time. So being a female, I think we have more responsibilities, household, like family commitments than men. So we should have clear like vision, or maybe I would say we should have we can manage all this actually the family life as well as a career life. So these are the some factors and advices that I can give.
Thank you all. Now, I think we have very little time for question and answers. I would like any of you have questions from this distinguished panelists. Any questions?
Hi, my name is Sanjeev also. I'm coming from cybersecurity background. This question goes to Mrs. Nani Fernando. My dad also was working for Central Bank for over 30 years, and every time when I sit with him, the question I ask is, as a regulatory body in this country, far as concerned, what are the main cybersecurity, information security guidelines were given to the Sri Lankan financial sector? Taking for example, like the country like Singapore, they have Monetary Authority of Singapore. They have technology risk management framework. When it comes to Sri Lanka, the guidelines are very limited. As a pioneering industry, madam, can you just give us a small explanation on this actually?
Now, I think I am not up to date on what is happening and what are the laws, etc. Right? Because I retired so many years ago. But when we put in the payment systems in Bangladesh, standard security measures of hardware, software-wise, they were all there. Right? The network was secure, the disaster recovery sites were secure, the time stamping, all those things are done through the hardware and software. But no features for real cyber attacks and stuff like that was included. Right? This is so many years ago. This is a threat which is new. Now, I have not worked in that environment, so I am not an expert to really give you the answer. When we did payment systems, then we brought in the laws to suit them. So everything has to move and you have to get it going. Like when the first time that it went online, the laws did not cater for the crimes that can be committed. Some frauds could not be identified, so the laws had to be done. And central bank definitely had a group with lawyers and technical people working on it to deal with that. So, but I really am not up to date on what the central bank is doing now, but I know they have a risk management unit started recently. That is not directly technical risk. That is the risk for payment, right? But in spite of it, you know what happened? Bangladesh Bank, you know what happened, right? So this is something which I really don't know exactly what measures are being taken, but measures are there. Basel III, that is they keep on writing about the new rules and regulations for payment, right? So, the problem here with PayPal and things coming in, right? So now has certain committees dealing with this, but I don't know whether they have any to deal with cybersecurity, and especially for financial transactions. So these are things which have to come, and unfortunately we react too late. We react too late. We have to keep in touch with what's happening the world over, because the developed world is taking those measures. I'm sure she will know much better than I can, and with that question should have been directed to her.
Well, I work mostly in the UK, but I do have business here. Something I could tell is that I don't think there are enough preventative measures. They can even tell how depressed you are or how happy you are by just analyzing your personal data. And that's not even using AI. So you have to keep up with the technology, how fast it's moving. If you don't play catch up and if you don't have the basic preventative measures, it's going to be very difficult, and we are only going to hear more and more data breaches, damages, loss. So we need to act more on that.
Just one little comment. I think another problem is we don't have modern law trained with the curriculum that is completely out of date. We are talking of change, but has the rest of the society moved to accept that change? So if we want to, we have produced a person who is expert in not cybersecurity, space law. The space law expert, UN expert is a Sri Lankan. He is now retired. But we have produced such people. But in this country, we don't have the academic area to train people to deal with this. We wake up too late.
The other thing is we rely on technology too much. When it comes to security, you all know it's people. If I train this guy, he's going to leave it you next day and go to a competitor. So they don't invest enough on training people on the right skills. But they go and buy the latest and greatest technology, but they don't have the process to make sure that the people are following the right processes to use that technology. So it's that complete element of looking at people over process over technology aspect as well.
Any other questions?
Srisan, Ajit Kaskar from Ministry Motor. It's not really a question as such, but I was just wondering whether this kind of awareness session can be taken to schools, because that is where particularly the girls' schools, that is where the children actually make decisions at certain points. Like for example, let's say just before the O-level examination, whether they want to actually go to the STEM side, the maths, bio, or they want to go to the arts, commerce side. They take the decision and go. I mean, as we all like to go to different places, and if you're not good in maths, you are like pushed to the commerce arts area. But if the child or the children can be made aware, okay, these are the opportunities in technology area, even though their parents might be, or even though their parents, or they might not have the confidence because they have low score in maths, still they might be able to actually might be doing maths and bio or whatever and go into the technology side. I think the biggest problem that I see is that like our awareness at the school level, because most of them actually decide where they want to go somewhere there. And a lot of, I'm not dropping out as such, but people decide their career like at very young age. And if you can actually do this awareness session at the, let's say, grade 11, and maybe at the grade 12 A-level, 2 sessions, that could create a huge impact on basically their sort of changing their attitudes towards technology side, and also they know that okay, this much of job opportunities are out there, and as you mentioned, 51% of the population is female, so obviously that make a lot of things. I know the logistic issues are there, but like even a cluster of schools, if you can actually ask the schools to come to a particular bigger place and do a seminar, that would actually help. Just a suggestion.
Thank you, Dr. Pascal. Let me add something to that. We have professional female groups who are working in the IT and BPO sector. We are doing voluntary sessions for the schools. As such, like we went to the schools, not only to the girls' schools. We do sessions to the parents as well as the girls in grade 8 to 10 and also the A-level students to train them in the to join the IT and BPO sector, and we are having a mentor-mentee program for them, and we will select mentors from the IT and BPO sector, and we select girls from the schools as well as the technical institutions, vocational institutions, and the universities, and we do mentor them. So that we are at the initial stage, but hopefully we are planning to get more girls into the IT and BPO sector in future. And any other questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here. I would like to give special thanks to all the speakers and experts who participated on this panel. And we are grateful for your willingness to share your experience, lessons learned and good practices, and way forward especially. And thank you so much. And I think the message is very clear. So we do have a problem. We are lack of females in the IT sector, and most of the people here are network engineers and IT professionals. So I think you have a responsibility to educate females, because we have the unconscious bias is the biggest problem we have within the females in Sri Lanka. So if you can educate them properly, so we could have get more people into the IT stream in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just a minute. Actually, yeah, so thanks very much, Sagarika, for all that moderating that you have done.